All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, episode 2. All right, so he's getting his Mr. Miyagi training.
That's right, yeah.
Ippo getting trained and having to be grabbing all the leaves.
All the leaves. He must be the leaf. The leaf on the wind. Watch how he strikes. Yeah.
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
And lives, a long time after saying something like that.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so speaking of longevity, I can already feel right now the kind of the build-up properly for a character starting from the bottom and going, like, far.
Yes.
You're gonna go far, kid. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to, like, totally emphasize this show.
Oh, yeah.
So, proper setup for a good protagonist.
Yep.
We have the mentor trainer, and we have some bullies.
Yes.
Pretty simple start. Looking forward to some good training. So, without further ado, let's get into it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And yet it seems like just plausible enough that I'm like, I'm not pulled out of it at all by seeing that. Fruits of labor. All right.
Cool.
Okay.
So just learn to kick the tree really hard so that there's lots of leaves.
Okay, he gave him a time limit. I was gonna say.
Whoa.
Wow.
Sure.
Oh. We can use different hands.
Right.
I think 3 is actually pretty realistic, but after that, yeah. It's the equivalent of grabbing your toast and running out. Destiny awaits, Ippo. So is he gonna go for the technique of trying to grab multiple leaves at once?
Or maybe like figure out how to like hold them with his thumb or something.
Night and day, here we go. It's really cool to see, in a lot of ways, just the aspect of a character taking a dream and just jumping headfirst into it.
Yeah.
Not really like thinking about the why. It's just that there's a passion behind it.
Nice.
That'd actually be really smart. Go and grab like 20 leaves and just carry them around with you.
Yeah.
Just get the feeling of having that many in your hands.
How to hold them properly and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Nope. Already gone. Yeah.
Nice. They're too lazy to bully him as well. He's got places to be.
Yep.
Oh, second leave.
Two in one hand.
Hey, but sometimes all you need is a little break, and now maybe he can jump right up to 7, like without
because he's sort of figured out what the muscles need to do.
Aww. Yeah. Cool. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
oh,
not bad. Now he had it in both hands though, so Because he was making multiple punches, but I think he can only handle one strike before he like loses control of it.
Wouldn't that be funny if the reason that he couldn't do it is because there weren't enough leaves on the tree because they had all but like he knocked them all off already? Oh, okay, no. Or is he? He wasn't doing it like punches, he was just...
That moment when you tap into your latent anime powers and you're like, oh my god, I can warp sound effects. It's like a protagonist becoming self-aware that a soundtrack plays whenever they enter a room or something. It's like, oh my god. This music though is so great though. It's just fantastic. Oh, the piano just...
Yep.
Wow.
Was that 10?
I don't know. 9, 10. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
He just...
He's like, oh boy, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. All right. We're starting off the mentor-student relationship quite well. Yes. Okay.
All right. I like that he's just telling him, okay, this is what I want you to do. And, you know,
just leaving him.
Right.
Gotcha. So generally, it goes to others. You. Akunuchi Ippo. They're all like, man, a few words, it's just like, yo, huh?
Oh, Tanuki Jiji! ちょうどよかった。お前が連れてきたというからプロにもやれそうな新人かと期待してみれば。闘争心のかけらも感じさせる。俺も。かける見込み。俺はあいつに見込みがあると思ったから連れてきたんだよ。
お願いします。よろしくお願いします。
わしにはあれがボクシングにもにも信じられん。なんだと？だったらスパリングでも何でもやってみろってんだよ。
They just keep throwing him to
練習試合のことだ。
へえ、試合か。
おめえがやるんだよ。
Huh? That was like an Onizuka face. Yeah.
ジタバタするんじゃねえ。でもこのまま帰るか？
He's trying to steal himself, but he's like, I don't think I have that in me. Cool. Episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. It's kind of crazy.
In the deep end.
Oh, okay. All right. So he's actually the right age and everything. Yeah. Yeah, he's way better. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, so this is his life.
Yeah.
Yep. He's so small.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's got like 6 inches on him too. Like, so that means all the range and. Oh. Okay. Operation Turtle. Look how excited he is too. Completely ignored what he was. Yeah.
That's why you keep your arms up.
Yep. All right, so he is a classic underdog. Here we go. All right, buddy. End the episode. Yep.
All right,
yeah.
Pretty cool.
A good episode 2 because they went straight into it.
Yep, they really did.
We had a good montage, kind of training sequence of sorts of him understanding what it means to throw a jab, essentially. Not even really what the leaves technique was about, but how it brings him into a situation where he must be able to throw a good jab.
Right.
And he does it with just the one hand.
Yeah.
Which I was right. Like, he was like, I meant for him to do it with both hands.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that maybe it was easier for him to coordinate by striking with just one hand.
Sure.
Well, what that means is he also had to be faster with the one hand.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get a 1-2 count.
Right, exactly.
With 2 hands, whereas you get a 1 count here. So the recoil... like the bringing the arm back in and striking again is way faster with one. So, hey, that's another good thing as well.
But he did it. He did it. Way to go.
He did it.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love how he was like, okay, I'm exhausted, so I can probably only do this once. So please watch closely. And especially with the whole thing of like him hitting it with his back, because on the one hand he can probably hit it harder that way because he's putting his full body weight into it.
Right.
But I also like the idea that
that's how tired he is.
That's how tired he is. Yes. He's just sort of like falling back against the tree.
Yes. There was a time where I went out and stayed up all night and walked in California and stuff, and it was pretty fun. I ended up walking miles and miles and miles. The thing is for a part of it, I would run it just to kind of get the and stuff.
The blood moving.
But when you're physically tired and you're like, you need to sleep as well, that whole idea of like collapsing against like something. When I came back to the place I was staying at, I basically like came to the front door and just kind of bumped against it, and I was just like, and then grabbed the door and kind of just swung with the door out. It was like, I am so tired. And the thing is, no one was awake at that time because it was like 5 a.m. or
so
something.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. But oh man, I love that they're making him a proper underdog though, despite him having talent. There was a hard. It's a fine line to walk of where you give your protagonist talent,
right?
AKA he has the upper body strength to throw a strong punch.
Yeah, exactly.
He has the coordination and the dedication and the passion and all this stuff to stick out a training regime,
right?
Training regimen,
yeah,
and and actually do it.
Right, and be able to like figure out how the whatever the sensei's name, how he was basically striking specifically to grab the leaves, even though he forgot that he was using both hands.
Right.
Just stuff like that's really good. And then of course they have him facing up against this Miyata guy.
Yeah.
And
they're basically saying, yeah, we don't have a lot of time to just throw at youngsters who have, one, probably no money for this kind of thing. Two, probably, no real know-how at this point.
Yep.
So we'd need you to kind of go into a smaller gym, go to like a smaller trainer first, and then work your way up to someone like us. So they throw him to the wolves, basically, with Miyata.
Yep.
And I love that under pressure, Ippo is not he's not a quick thinker.
Right. He forgot entirely the keep your arms up. You know?
Right. And I think it's a good way to write a child character, because he's 16, so he has, in a lot of ways, the body of a growing man. Like, he is really short, but
his muscles are coming in.
His muscles are developing, and he is strong. We saw his his capacities at the fish fish and tackle kind of shop,
constantly
boat
pushing those
reservation
ships out and things like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he's got the and now that he did that workout thing, he probably has some back muscles and abs coming in there.
Yep.
So I feel like right now we're just like beginning the beginning of the beginning of the training, where he now did the cool little Mr. Miyagi thing, and it's like, oh, okay, you might have some technique, some innate ability, some talent, if you will. Let's see if you if you work well under pressure. And that might just be the thing. No, he does not work well under pressure right now.
And it's the way to basically show how far he has to go, because whenever you want to do something and be really good at it, right? They say that the beginning of wisdom is knowing that you know nothing, right? So with something like this, he might be like really psyched about like, I managed to do the 10 leaves thing. Woo, yeah. But, still his first instinct was, oh, he's 16 and he's not a pro or anything, so he's probably not that different from me. And it's like, no.
Like, just with the way he was carrying himself, you knew that he was good. And then he started shadow boxing, you're like, oh, now he's really good. And then when he started bobbing on his feet, you're like, no, it's over. It's
well, and I loved how he hits Ippo once in the stomach, and then he clocks him, and he goes down,
brings his guard down immediately to be like, oh no, that hurt, and just leaving him completely exposed for a hook.
And then he's on the ground, and he's like, he hit me in the stomach, and I don't know what happened next.
Oh man, this is great. This is so good. I love also the excitement and the passion coming in from the sensei.
Takamura?
Takamura.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. Because he didn't expect him to do the leaf trick at all.
And then he's like, wait a minute, he did one hand. Okay.
I think that was more the thing of like, he's like, boy, he did it with one hand. What the heck?
What's going on? Yeah. And then the way he stood up for Ippo.
Maybe I should have made the time limit less or something.
Right. And then the way he stood up for Ippo when the gym manager was like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be serious. Like,
but he's also like that, I would say, kind of that Aang character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He wishes well to everyone. He speaks very formally and very kindly. He is the kind of person that you wouldn't expect to be able to hurt a fly, like
right, exactly.
And now they're basically like, we need you to go beat up other people, and like,
and we're gonna that you can get beat up.
Yes, totally.
Yeah,
but like also be in the corner with you and be like, all right, go kill him, like, go eat him.
Right. It's the. It makes me think of Remember the Titans when Boone is talking to the players and he's like, you got anger, that's good, you're gonna need it, son. You got aggression, that's even better, you're gonna need that too.
Yeah, it reminds me of Rocky with his train in the background. All right, Rock, you gotta go out there and you gotta tear his liver out. He's like basically saying like his voice and stuff like I can just imagine basically the equivalent of this old guy.
Yeah.
Being like, all right, Ippo, you gotta go out there and you gotta clock his face. Like, this guy, he insulted your mother last night. You know, ba 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 ba, jab,
just over and over again.
Yeah. I also like that to think of him in kind of a goofy sense as an RPG character. He learned his first skill, basic jab, and it's like. He learned it so quickly. He's like, Nani? Like right. So crazy. And I love that they're like, oh, you're a level 1 character with one skill? Hold on, I've got this level 9 character for you to at least like use as a punching bag. And the level 9 character's like, hold on, I have to tune down all my abilities so I don't like one-shot this guy.
Like, don't actually kill him.
Too late, I two-shotted him.
And the idea of how I love how Ippo was like jab, 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 jab.
Like he got so into it that it started to hurt his hand. He's like, whoa, hey.
Well, also just the idea that he was just so mesmerized by the idea of a jab. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again and again and again. It's like as if that was like the first skill, the first attack that he got, and suddenly that's his entire world. Everything can be solved with a jab. You know.
Yeah, it's also a fun little world building thing for us, but also a fun character revelation is that despite him having like absorbed a lot of information about boxing recently, probably from the tapes and stuff, he probably has no idea what any of the vernacular means. He has no idea what any of the vocab is. He has no lingo. Like, so what he probably got all excited about is like, this is called a jab? Whoa. And the thing is, there's a lot of stories out there, like MHA, for instance, where the main character will start off as a fanboy of the thing that they're going into a lot of. And I see that's more of a modern thing because of the circulation of information being so much more accessible through, social media and the internet. But in this time... he's just like, yeah, I saw that tape you sent me, but I've never watched a boxing match in my life before that. Right. Just, this is kind of interesting.
And also, it's very helpful from a narrative point of view because...
he gets to learn everything with us.
Exactly. Yeah. Because in something like, say, MHA, they don't really need to do that as much because there's not as much technical aspects to it, right? Right. It's just, there's heroes and stuff. Whereas here, it's like, a jab versus a hook. And, and all the different... things like how he talked about Miata being an outboxer or something.
Yeah, no idea what that means.
And it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. That means something, we're assuming,
Right. Like, and we'll end up learning that, and that's going to be cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I love when shows do that. Specifically, like Haikyuu did that a lot to us, was us understanding a lot of the lingo and a lot of the inner dynamics of the sport of volleyball. We're going to learn that about boxing.
Edutainment.
Yes, edutainment, indeed. It's going to be pretty legit. Oh, yeah. So, I would say predictions for kind of how they'll handle this is he ends up doing at least his jab in this whole little encounter here in the next episode.
Yeah. He's going to get back up.
Yes.
And then he's probably, and because of that, in order to do his jab, he's probably going to get at least around 2, just because, hey, that's how they could use the bullying aspect. He's gotten beat up a lot, right? So even though he's never gotten, beat up professionally, by someone who actually knows what they're doing.
The way you said that was great. That's fantastic.
Miata's not going to slap him, No. There are no slaps that are going to be mixed in.
He's going to keep this cool, keep this clean.
Right. But that means he's going to hit way harder, than Ippo is used to. But assuming that he can last through that, then, which, he probably will. Then we can get into the jabs.
Yeah, I'm wondering though, what's gonna be his thing? Because generally when you have a protagonist that has some kind of physical, I would say physical skills or talent, they have to have something that separates them as a protagonist from the rest of the pack. Right. So is it going to be that because Rocky, he would just take punches, almost unrealistically, So,
the Terminator.
There are tons of other characters where they'll be like, I just deliver it all into one, solid punch or whatever.
Right.
There are other characters that are quick. There are other characters that will do the mental game. And I'm wondering with Ippo, what's going to be his game? What's going to be his thing? Because I don't think they're going to run with the, he's kind of an everyman boxer, but he's just really good for some reason. He has this resolve or something. If anything, they're trying to say, hey, this kid is not the shonen protagonist in that he has no fighting spirit right now.
Maybe he
needs to become, in some ways, the shonen protagonist.
Okay, so here's... I think if they do something like that, which totally makes sense that they'll do, it might have something to do with his strong punch in the beginning. I could also see it having something to do with the way Takamura was so quick with the bullies, and they just could not touch him, right?
Sure.
So like the thing in Megalobox that he did, the thing where he would like duck under and then like get them and stuff like that. Like maybe that's just what it'll be, is that he'll just make it so that they can't touch him, sort of that Muhammad Ali kind of a thing. I don't know. I don't know anything about boxing.
Like a bee.
Yeah.
I think that if they do something like that, they'll start to build up with that in the next like few episodes.
Sure. Yeah.
Because one of the things that they've shown thus far is that the boy is surprisingly strong.
Yes.
Like, surprisingly strong.
Right.
So I think what it might be is that he's built in such a way that people are going to look down on him.
Sure.
And he's going to get them with, like, some serious punches, and they're just going to be like, oh, this is...
Right.
But one of the things I was even thinking of was, I didn't even put this into the list, was, like, he's small. What if that's an actual advantage in some ways, in that it's actually, like you said, it's kind of harder to punch at that angle, potentially, but also that he gets underneath their defenses a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. And that would be a really cool way to go about it, because since he's smaller, even though he's strong, that means he will be at a range disadvantage.
Yes, that's true.
Like, his reach won't be as good as theirs. So, the ability to basically
get
sort of
close.
Dodge and counter, get in close, that could be... That could be a really cool mechanic to add to the fight, so that way it's constantly this feeling of like, oh man, if he gets hit, he might be toast. Like they have all the advantages stacked on their side, so he needs to be able to figure out how to do his one thing, that can take them down.
Yeah.
But,
all right, well, that's awesome. Like, I'm looking forward to more of this. I love underdog stories, and we're starting off true to form. I love the little letter from his mom.
Yeah,
it was really wholesome and
so
sweet.
Good.
I love the idea that she described it as him being active and motivated. Now, the thing is that he's 16.
Right.
But what that kind of insinuates is that she hasn't generally seen him be that active or motivated.
Yeah.
At 16. Now, I'm not saying that, like, oh, that's so much time. But generally, I would say that people start to, at the very least, move in a direction of, like, passion when they're in their high school age or something like that.
Okay.
Like I would say with us, with either, like, reading or, like... like going after like specific things that kind of motivated us.
I'm sure he had interests and stuff like that, but probably never anything that he pursued with this amount of dedication and hard work.
Yeah, I would almost say that this is actually kind of the point of his character, though. I'm totally with you in that there's a magnitude scale here. Like, this is definitely beyond any of that. But I would guess that in some ways we're going to find out that, based on the fact that I don't see any dad near here in this story, in that he's been kind of the mama's boy, I'm going to stay by her, and I'm not going to really think about anything that I want in life.
Sure.
Because I got to be there for her.
Right.
And that does seem to be kind of a thing that he's constantly thinking about, is like, oh, I didn't help her, or this thing, like, I have to be there for her. And then she gives the thing of, don't worry about the family business, I'm young. There's a lot, I think, packed into that part of the letter that I think we just don't know the details about yet. And I'm looking forward to that. So, anything else to bring up?
No, I really like that they are moving this quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Because when there's the idea of, a show that's, as long as Ippo, right?
Yeah.
And especially when it's an underdog story.
Right.
When it's an underdog story, that's the idea of starting at the bottom and then potentially going to the top, right?
Yep.
But if it's a long story, that means they could take their time with it, right?
It'd take a long time going to the top.
But I love here how they are very quickly establishing the journey ahead, right? With the fact that they're having him spar against Miata when he is not prepared. Like, that, it's going to be a cool rude awakening to basically have his world get peeled back a little bit more and have his horizons be pushed out a little bit further, and he starts to realize what this whole boxing journey will entail.
Totally.
But yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, guys, if you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access where you can chat with us about stories or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.